Hello, friends. Welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly, and I'm so glad that you guys are here. Today, we are going to get started on this week's project, which is going to be winterizing everything. So, winterizing, excuse me, I'm getting over strep. I apologize. We're going to be winterizing the trees. I've got fruit and flowering trees planted all over the yard. We're going to be winterizing those. We're going to be winterizing the chicken coop, making sure that the waters don't freeze and that we button up everywhere that we need to make sure that it's not freezing inside the chicken coop, but still has plenty of ventilation. So we got lots of projects to get to. So I'm excited that you're here. Let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take some of our amazing Zoo Brew compost that we get delivered from our local compost place, and we are going to put rings of compost around every single fruiting and flowering tree. Okay, so I took some time to mulch, making sure to pull it away from the base of the tree. So I used up that compost, mulching all those. Had some extra compost while I was cleaning up the pile, so I went ahead and I spread it all down the line where we plant our wildflowers. All right, you guys, so the first freeze snuck up on me. It's starting to thaw right now. It's going to be about 31, 32 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but I did not yet winterproof my chicken waterers. So I'm going to take you guys along with me as I waterproof the chicken waterers. So I've got my extension cords, my bird bath heater. I've got some feed to top off their little feeders. And I've got a impact driver with a spade bit on it. So I'm going to drill a hole through my chicken coop so that I can fit the extension cord in to get power to my bird bath heater, which is what I'm going to heat the waters with. So let's go ahead and get this thing winterized so the birds can have water, huh? Okay, so the first thing is I did switch over from the cups to these nipple waters so they can peck at them and get some water. But those will freeze up too if the water inside it is not warm enough, which is what happened this morning. So we're gonna put the bird bath heater in through the top, but we need the extension cord to come in through the coop so that it can still be locked up and secure so no predators can get it. So we're gonna do that right now. So I am by no means a master carpenter. I can get by and I can do a little bit of stuff, but generally speaking, projects like this, I usually like to have one of my friends who is more skilled and has more experience at this than I do. But this was something that I thought, oh, I can handle this. But mistake number one, I should have come through from the other side because it's gonna splinter when it comes through the back, and I should have had the splintering happen on the inside of the coop instead of the outside, but I can fix that. Mistake number two, my drill impact driver thing was almost dead. So there's no way it was going to get through. Mistake number, I don't even know what, is I should have just drilled a hole first, and then you put the tip in through the hole and it makes it go through a lot easier. So charge your drill a hole first before you put the spade bit on, and come through. Start on the side you want to be pretty. Don't start on the inside of the coop. So those are the first mistakes that I made on this day, but we get it figured out. Oh, and safety goggles. I totally needed safety goggles or sunglasses. Battery died. Gotta go charge that real quick. While we're waiting for the battery to charge, figured let's winterize the whole coop. So I've got my hemp bedding to top off, some diatomaceous earth to sprinkle in there to make sure any buggies that want to make that place a home are discouraged. And then I'll get some nesting pads for the nesting boxes. I decided to add in a bag of wood chips for their bedding in the run. Okay, I changed into a shirt that stuff wouldn't stick to and grabbed the nesting pads. What are you doing in here? Hey, watch out, Pearlies. Watch out, watch out. Watch out. Go on. Watch out. Scoot. Scoot, scoot. Scoot, scoot. Scoot. They're not gonna like this. See? Not gonna like it. Everybody get out. As you can see, they're all in there watching. All right, let's talk products for this coop and run. So inside the coop, you'll see that I'm spreading out hemp bedding. This hemp bedding, I use the deep litter method. And so with the hemp bedding, there's no smell. And I mean no smell, which is crazy awesome. It actually breaks down in compost, so it keeps them warmer in the winter naturally. And then I'm able to clean out the coop once a year and add it to my compost pile, and it all breaks down really wonderfully. And then sometimes I do scoop out the poo that's sitting right on top if I want to add it to the compost pile to kind of get the compost pile going, but it's not necessary. It's just something I do every once in a while when I have time. And then inside the nesting boxes, you saw me use those nesting pads. I buy those in bulk on Amazon, and right before the winter, I switch them out, swap them out, and then again in the spring, I'll swap those out as well. And then in the run, it was grass and now it's just bare floor. And I go ahead and put wood chips down, or wood mulch that's not treated. I sprinkle that down on the bottom, and they scratch through it and get down to the soil and get the bugs and stuff and make their own dirt bath. And then I will keep spreading out more fresh wood chips on top, and that helps make sure there's no smell. I think Joel Salatin calls it a carbonaceous diaper because the carbon makes sure there's no smell in my run at all. And then also helps, again, everything break down and turn into amazing compost. So in the spring, I will scoop out all of the stuff that's on the bottom of the run, and it will be already composting, but I'll just add that to the compost bins. And then same thing with their coop. I will add all of that into the compost bin when it needs it. But honestly, you can go more than a year, and it's crazy how clean and amazing it is inside the coop in the run with the hemp bedding. So highly recommend hemp bedding, nesting pads, and wood chips over the bottom of your run. Oh, I almost forgot. You'll see that not only does this door swing open, but the bottom of it drops down so that you can actually just scoop all of that bedding right into a wheelbarrow or a compost bin. No need to have the lip there. The lip is there to keep the bedding from falling out. And then when you want to clean it, the second part of that door actually drops down, so you can just scoop it right into the wheelbarrow. So there are these little plexiglass things. So Olivia's going to show you. Go ahead and lift that one up, honey. And they slide down so that these are blocked. Now, it's not airtight. There's still some air that can get in, but it's not a big draft, and that's what we're trying to do. So then we've also got it on this one, and this one, and this one, and the girls are ready to come in. All right, honey, let me lift you out of there. Okay. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so that guy plugs into this guy, who plugs in to that guy. I like these feeders because they have the little notch. You can see the notch built in right there so that a cord can go through. So that guy is gonna go right there. I'm gonna get a little zip tie to hold that guy right there. And then we'll plug the extension cord in up by the house. Okay, so we have the 2 bird bath deicers plugged in and into the extension cord, which is going through, and the extension cord goes all the way over to my house, goes all the way up to there, and inside here the deicer just sits at the bottom. It doesn't heat the water, it just prevents it from freezing. It automatically comes on and shuts off between temperatures. So this is the best way I've found to keep their waters going through the winter. And last year we had negative, I don't remember, like negative 10 or something like that before the wind chill, and it still kept them thawed. So glad to have them. Okay, friend, so it's been about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since I started this video. It dropped down and got cold, and then it was crazy warm for like a week. And then I went out of town for a week. And now I'm back, and it is consistently in the, freezing at night and between 35 and 50 during the daytime. So we are going to get the final phase of this winterizing the chicken coop buttoned up today. So I've got my panels to go on the side. I've got a basket full of the tools that we need. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's go. We're going to do this today. Inside my basket, I have my, what do I have? I have a Sharpie, a measuring tape, my little fasteners, my attachment to go on my impact driver. I've got the circular saw that I borrowed 3 years ago from my friends Sandy and Jim, and it's lived here ever since. Sorry, Jim. And I have my extension cord. So let's go ahead and go outside and get these panels cut. So last year I just had my mobile coop, and this is the first year that I have my coop that stays in place. And so I just want to take the time to get these panels cut to size and do all the things to make sure that I'm able to button this up when I want to take them on and off and have them be pretty easy. I didn't have the exact perfect tools for this. Now that I know better, I would do better. So I would cut it with something different and that kind of stuff. But it worked out, and you'll see how it comes together. So all along the top of this run, where the roof meets the 2x4s that built the sidewalls, there are gaps underneath each ridge of the roof panel, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm using the right terms, but so even with me putting these side panels on, there's still ventilation that's coming through the coop. Ventilation is super important because without the ventilation, you're going to have moisture, excess moisture, and excess moisture is what causes the frostbite. Chickens can be cold, and chickens will survive just fine, but the frostbite happens when there's too much moisture. So I'm just putting these up to keep a little bit of the heating. You'll see that it, isn't that sunset amazing? But you'll see that I'm putting these up to block the wind, essentially. I don't want the wind coming straight through the coop and freezing my little chickens out. But I still want the ventilation so that we're able to get good airflow through and can let out the excess moisture. I do have all these panels cut into like small sections, so if I need to take off a section here or there to increase airflow, I will. But I want to go ahead and get it all the way buttoned up at first and then kind of see how it goes. I'd rather have them be warmer and I can take a panel off for airflow than have them be freezing and me crawling around doing this when it's negative temperatures. Let's measure. All right, so I ran out of time in daylight the first day, but the second day it was raining and misting on and off. So I brought all the materials inside the coop and just started cutting and trimming and making it all work from inside the coop. Now, I don't know why I never thought to not use an X-Acto knife and to just use scissors, because on the very last piece that I trimmed, I used some scissors and it cut straight through and it was so much easier, and that would have saved me a lot of time, but that's okay. When you know better, you do better. So next time I ever do something like this, I will use scissors instead of an X-Acto knife. But we got it done, and that's all that mattered. So on this day, I'm just kind of taking it panel by panel and adjusting and measuring and cutting around the 2x4s that were for the framing or the roofing and stuff like that. And so I'm just kind of making my way in a circle around this coop, getting it done piece by piece. Okay, it's dark out. My chickens have put themselves to bed, but I got some lights and I only have 2 little bottom panels. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this so it can be done. So these last few pieces on the bottom underneath the coop inside the run, they were the trickiest to do because you have to kind of get down on your belly essentially to get in there and do that. So I just threw down an old towel, crawled across it, and got them put up. So I was super happy with the way it came out, but I'll give you guys a tour when it's all the way done and not completely dark for sure. But I think this is going to really help the girls feel more comfortable this winter. So a little hard to tell because it's dark in here, although their night light came on, which is their final warning that the door is going to close in a minute. But so we are all buttoned up in here. It's not completely like solid buttoned up. Every single there's gaps right here, so there's still ventilation. There's gaps along the door frame. Anyway, so the whole roof, besides the actual coop, which is solid and insulated, the whole run has gaps all around the ceiling. So there's still going to be ventilation, and if I decide that there's too much moisture, then which shouldn't be a problem, but I can always take off this top panel if I needed more ventilation and airflow as well. So that took a little bit, but now it's going to be pretty easy to put them up every year. I'm going to number them when I take them off, and since they're all cut, then it should be pretty easy. I feel like I need twinkle lights inside this coop, by the way. Must be 5:45. All right, it's a little gray and dreary, but let's take a look at what we did. So you can see it's got the clear panels all the way around, and the girls are happy with it. Looking good from the inside. Right, girlies? We've got our waters plugged in so that they will not freeze. We've got all of our trees, our flowering, and our fruit trees put to bed with a nice layer of compost. Everything's doing good. And we've got our garden buttoned up for winter. We're still growing a little bit. We've got some lettuce still growing under a row cover. We can see our garlic has popped up. All the beds have been winterized except for the leeks, and the cabbage and kale, they're still going. But everything's doing really well. So we added our new nesting pads to the boxes, and the girls have fluffed them up and made them their own. And if you go through, when you open up the back, you've got the new nesting pads. All the sides are down. The coop has insulation on the ceiling, and it has Betty Boop and Sophia. And then, of course, the drop-down door that you can release the latches from the inside that are buried by sawdust right now, or not sawdust, by hemp bedding. And the floor is coated with a resin coating so that any moisture or poo doesn't damage the wood. So you can use the deep letter and scoop it out when you're done. All right, we'll let these girls lay some eggs. We got it all done. That one took a little while. Projects like this for me kind of take some time because I'm squeezing it in and around when I'm doing stuff, when I'm spending time with my daughter, when I'm running errands, that kind of stuff. So I'm just happy that we have it all buttoned up before it drops down into negative or single digit temperatures. And I'm excited that you guys were here with me for the journey. I love doing these projects with you. I want to say I thank you guys so much for your support of this channel and of me. And I just am so grateful. So I can't wait to see you guys next time. Please consider subscribing if you have not yet already. And I'm excited to see you in a few days. Bye, friend.